He said the show's turning into garbage without Rooster Endo, and I agree.
I just don't like carburetors anymore. Where can I get a dozen of those awesome T-shirts? The Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirts are coming. But I will tell you, my very first stage that I ever won, I stopped and took a deuce on the stage.
Everyone can blame their crash on their suspension, but then again, if your suspension is that way, then you should know how to ride your bike the way it is.
You know, now we're like 8 shows in, and I've run out of excuses, so I'm just taking the heat. Doohickey, what part to put in, how to do this guy will modify it, that guy will modify it, this guy will. Everybody would just dove in and told them 800 things.
Well, that's because the internet's the gallery of opinion.
Live from Pahrump, Nevada, the Valley of the Dirt People, it's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday with your hosts, Jimmy Lewis and Logan Tyler.
Tyler.
I tried to clip it before it said
I'm going to
Logan.
read like Logan.
Gotta work on the buttons now. So now is the time when it's important for you to tell us if there's sound.
Yeah, can you hear me? Jim, can you hear me?
See, I can't hear you right now. Oh, yeah, the people in the studio can hear us.
Test.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's making all of the movements as if there's sound, but there's a thing that I have to push that's it does. This is a motorcycle show where we talk about motorcycle
or we
related
just
products.
talking to dead air because
Welcome to Tech Talk
shit's not
Taco
working.
Tuesday.
Because your mic's not plugged in.
Well, they haven't. We get 10 seconds to do it.
I hear both of you. Okay, good.
Yeah, sounds starting to work.
Sounds good.
Whew. Not another one. Bunch of cholos
Johnny
running
Carson
the
show.
switchboard.
This isn't.
So, do neoprene fork socks help protect your fork seals? George, you start right there. That's
Well,
from
I
somebody
imagine
on
they might.
Instagram.
I don't think it. I think it's more for if you physically damage your fork. If you hit something up there, on the top that would nick it, maybe it helps for that. I mean, probably keeps some of the dirt out of there.
I imagine if there's mud splashing up and stuff, it's like a kind of a first line of defense. But the stuff works its way up inside of there, and then it's gonna stick around as opposed to get wiped off by the fork seal wiper, which is the first thing.
And you know what? Probably neglect is why my forks started leaking when I just had my bike tied down, because I don't wash it, when I get done riding. So there's all that cake stuff on there, and it's all dry, and it's like cement. And then I go and put it in the truck and yank it way down because we were going to Rebel Rally, and it probably just drug that stuff right down in there, and they started leaking. That's what I think.
But Mark says the sound is not in sequence with the video. That's your problem.
Oh, it's like one of those Chinese kung fu movies.
Yeah, you could be good at that.
Hey,
everybody, thanks for joining and welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is show number 200 and it says 5 again? It's show 208. I don't know how I keep track of this because I used to have to ask somebody, so you're going to have to scribble that out. The good thing about this, does it say 208 right there? Nope, it doesn't. Is that we have some awesome sponsors.
Surprise guest, maybe.
A surprise guest. Double Take Mirrors, Bulletproof Designs, Fasst Company, Trail Tech, DDC. That's a legacy sponsor right there. They've been around for a long time.
A legacy sponsor.
Yeah, Scott Sports, Taco Moto, and of course Yamaha. Yamaha revs your heart. We got a lot of Yamaha videos up on the website. If you go to www.dirtbiketest.com, if you want to become a better rider by next Monday, go to jimmylewisoffroad.com. That's the way that I support all of this stuff that I do, because this show is not making a whole lot of money right now. That's why.
Can't you tell by the guests?
Well,
you can't bring in a mainliner here, somebody that people actually know.
With
followers, double-digit followers at least.
I wonder if that guy did that guy, our surprise guest, did that guy blow us up on the grams?
No.
Not yet?
No.
You don't want all your followers to know you're here.
Help a buddy out, man.
Yeah, come on. Live on YouTube, live on to Facebook.
Out, man.
Okay, so the thing you have to do in the chat right now is you need to guess who's here. Guess who our special guest is. And if you get it right, you'll get a thumbs up from somebody.
Is it Joel from the Pahrump Rally? You should give him a shout out for that rally.
The Pahrump AV Rider Rally.
It's a good deal.
Right. And so we talked to a lot of different people on this on this platform, you know, everything from really good riders to brand new riders. And we try to help answer your questions. Last week in Pahrump, our good buddy Joel started this thing called the Pahrump ADV Rally, Pahrump ADV Rider Rally. He's more famous for doing the Noobs Death Valley Rally. So these are places that that you can go if you want to learn how to ride. I went down there and did a demo, talked to people about riding, gave him some tips, taught Joel a couple tricks.
Yep. I wonder if is our sound still way off? Because I wonder if our sound's coming through that and going out and not this one in front of us.
No, it's going through these microphones.
It said it's delayed.
Watch. You want me to make it quiet for a second? I can just go like this. Let's see. Go like that. Now we're not making any noise at all.
Hello?
But if I go back like this, yeah. Hello.
Diane said it was very loud.
It was the
sound was very loud, but
in the beginning,
that whole family, they don't know they have a volume on the computer.
So, we got some decent guesses going on there. Should we bring back fork boots? Because my seals look like new and they are at 14,000 miles, says Asher Lito. Asher Lito, what are you doing watching Tech Talk? It's Bible study night, bro.
Yeah.
This is... did you post that you were going training out here? Because the guys that know about this stuff, the guys that troll you are they're picking it out.
Well, I just posted it on Facebook. Right?
Oh, you just did. See, that's how it's all.
It's rigged.
Asher Lito's sick in bed. He's probably got COVID. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Somebody said Toby Price is going to be in here. He's in Mexico? So, pounding hoops. Pounding hoops. So, the sound is not in sequence of the video. Yeah, we were. This was brought to our attention. And there was another good question up here that says, from Stephen Little. Hi, Jimmy. Steve, Australia mate. Best standing technique for riding singles for faster cornering. So, riding advice. That's a much better question for the Better Rider podcast, but since I haven't done it for like 4 months, I guess we should just answer it here. Best technique for standing, and he says single, like single cylinders. The only thing, if I give this answer out, and since he's in Australia, everything...
Is he talking single track?
Singles, he says riding single cylinder bike, not twin cylinder bike. The best standing technique. So since you're in Australia, and since you guys just do nothing but give me shit, I'm just going to tell you everything that you're doing when you're doing is upside down.
Yep.
Okay. You're completely upside down for me. So just think about that when I give you this technique.
Does the toilet really flush the other way?
Yeah.
The water go around the other way?
Yeah. It's the same way. It's just on the other side of the world. So it goes the other way. Okay. It's just like a typhoon and a cyclone, hurricane, cyclone, the way the stuff spins. Yeah. You learn something new on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday every show. So thank God we've done our job. Now we can let this show go to shit, George. But okay, back to the standing technique. So
stand up. Let's move on.
I can explain. Oh, is that boring?
Come to the class.
Come to the class. He's in Australia, man.
So
I'm going to start doing it online. I'm going to have pretty soon my whole regular class up on video as a video series, right after I start filming it, but we have one for beginners. But the standing technique, and you actually gave the answer. Stand up. The technique for standing is standing up. And when you stand up, I don't care whether you're on your motorcycle or on the ground, but I know when you're standing up on the ground, you're probably not hanging on to a bar or a handrail, or maybe you are, but if you're just standing up normally, you're not grabbing a bar or a handrail. So when you stand up on your motorcycle, you need to do the same thing. This is the technique. But most people, they think about balance and a side-to-side thing on the motorcycle. There's forward and aft balance, and then there's anticipating what you're doing. And in my perfect world, I ride perfect, right? I told you about this.
You just crashed the other day. Up in the hills.
I want to know everything about this crash.
This crash.
Oh, he can explain
I can explain
every little thing and
little detail.
And you know what it was? Equipment failure.
Yeah, I did everything perfect. I had two equipment related issues that combined into a nice little belly flop. But anyway, so when you're
Fourth year going,
so when you're
five.
going, when you're going around the turn, Stefan, when you're going around the turn, you have to decide, okay, am I initiating to get into the turn or am I actually in the turn? And the minute you're in the turn and you're set and you're happy with your traction and everything, all that weight needs to go up to that outside foot peg, and you're basically balanced with all your weight on the outside foot peg. And it has a lot to do with anticipating your speed. And at this point, you technically don't really want to be accelerating or decelerating because you're at the edge of traction. So you're going to go around that turn with all your weight. 100% of your weight is on that outside foot peg. And you're just going around the turn, waiting till you're going the direction you want to go. And then you gas it. It's that simple. It's so easy. And we've gone now down to, I think I need to ask a question that needs an answers. Hard shell or soft shell tacos? Says Jeremy Dorkerson.
Did you warm up? I warmed up pizza.
I had a piece of bread with honey on it.
There you go.
Nothing.
Nothing yet?
And then two pizzas, a nothing. And so we don't really know about the softer hard
shell tacos.
I like hard shell.
Yeah,
I like
durable.
They're more durable, hard, crispy, hard shell tacos. So
His name's durable.
okay, Steve. Hopefully that answered your question. If you want to know more, let me know. I'll keep babbling about it. But we want to talk about my crash.
No. Just checking on the show, Frank White.
What is Grok? Frank White is from ATK. Remember, we picked. Cool. Unfortunately, he probably don't want to bring this up. I picked he either built or resold two of my top worst bikes ever. Because I think I picked the ATK 700 as the worst one because I couldn't start it.
Dave Donnelly wants to know: do you typically run the fork tubes above the top clamp, or even or level? And I'd say just by looking around your garage, most of them are pretty even.
First line.
But, yeah, no higher than that first line.
Rarely. I run them where they need to be. I've run them down submerged in the triple clamp before. So they were down underneath. So I run them where they need to be. But
You're doing all you can do to get the KTM to handle.
Yeah. Because my Yamaha, I don't have to touch them at all. I hardly even touch the clickers.
I finally felt that bike up in the rear feeling the other day because you had too much preload in that shock I put on my bike.
Before or
and
after
it was
you
riding
adjusted
like
it?
that, like a stink bug.
Right. Well, you could have slid your forks down in the tube and balanced it out.
No, it would have made it worse.
No, if you slid them farther down, not up in the tubes, the forks down.
Not that high.
Yeah, you put them where you need to, but if you start getting wonky, way up or way down, something's wrong. So, and then Josh K says, talk me out of buying a Cannondale dirt bike. I didn't pick it as bike of the year. So, but yeah, Frank had the ATKs. They who I'm working to get another guy in the show that has a lot to know about ATKs as well. So it'll be pretty cool.
Not you.
I raced him. I raced an ATK International Iron Hound.
The homeless guy that just came in.
Yeah. Dave Donnelly has another question. Is that with a steering stabilizer? What difference does the steering stabilizer make in the whole sliding the forks up and down?
Well, if you slide your forks up like 5 inches in the clamp,
then
you probably need a steering stabilizer.
And then just wind that steering stabilizer
Crank
tight.
It down tight so it don't just turn.
Doesn't start, turning on its own. Hey, this is the kind of questions we answer here. Again, thanks to Yamaha. And somebody wanted, I saw it it scrolled through in the beginning, they wanted to have an update, a Tenere 700 update.
On the build, but you just been riding it.
It's been parked outside, just sitting in the sun. I have a shock that I need to do some testing on, but I need to test it loaded, and I haven't had a chance to get loaded lately. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I got pretty loaded the other night on the show.
Want me to get on the back and we'll go out to Good Springs for lunch or something? That load it up.
No, I was actually thinking like hard luggage, if you know what I mean. Okay. My brother still has a 605 and a 250 ATK. Loves those things. There's people that love everything. It's good.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're good. Good on you. Here's less death. I ride my WR250F mostly in sand. Should I bother to lube my chain at all? That's a good question. Don't lube it with sticky stuff. Lube it with like a less sticky chain lube, like a chain wax more than a chain lube, because the wax dries and it's not as sticky. Or use like a rust penetrant oil. Hopefully you're running an O-ring chain. I know the bike comes with an O-ring chain. Just keep the chain, because the sand actually kind of cleans it. Just use a rust inhibitor on it to stop it from rusting and doing that
Hey,
kind
up
of
there,
stuff.
there's one. I might be able to answer most of this. I keep pinching tubes. Roll that down. Who said this? You're cut off. Whoever your name is.
I'm gonna
I keep pinching tubes, replacing my rear tire. I'm having no trouble putting the tire on. Just keep pinching tubes. I soap it up and had just enough air for the tube to hold its shape. Any tricks? Don't soap it up. Put baby powder in there, and then just don't shove that spoon way in there deep. Just barely get it over the lip of the rim and put that thing on. Be careful. When I have trouble pinching tubes is when somebody else is there putting their hands on the thing trying to show me how to do it and get in the way, and inevitably the tube gets pinched and I don't know who to blame. That's when I pinch tubes, mounting them or dismounting them, but I'm one of the last of the tube guys here. Too.
I still run tubes a lot. I mean, about half those tires that I did the other day were tubes.
But do you have anything to add to that technique?
Bill O'Neill.
On not pinching the tube?
I think that really the trick to the tube is just in having the right amount of air pressure in the tube when you're putting it on, so it's not completely flat, but it's not kind of pressure, so it's kind of like call it a limp tube, a little bit limp. And so if you have a brand new tube, put air in it and blow it up and let it sit for a little while, and then take the air out. Generally the right pressure is you take the valve core out and like let it collapse down kind of on its own till it still has shape, but there's no pressure in it, and then put the valve core back in there. And that way, when you're putting it in the tube, and I put the tube in the tire, then on the rim, and I put baby powder in there just for lubing, which is just cornstarch these days, so it's not as slippery.
But I think soap would create problems down the road because it'll dry out and make more friction in there.
Yeah, and that's why I'm even careful about what I put on the on the rim, because mostly that just lets the tire iron hit me in the head harder. But so I put it in there, and then as I'm going around, if I push in on it, the air moves to the other side of the tire, and it kind of seats it back in there, and then I'm just really careful about how far I shove the tire irons in. Some of the tire irons have a nice little lip on them, so you can go in there, you can feel the edge of the rim, and it's not enough for it to dive in there and really hook around and grab that too. But as long as you put the tire iron in there and the tube is where it's supposed to be, like in the middle or the back of the tire, not in between the tire and the rim, as you fold it over, there's nothing for that rim lock to grab. And it's been a long time since I've pinched a tube putting the tire on. I've done them more taking them off, just so I get kind of aggressive with it. I stick the tire iron a little bit too far, and then it's easy to kind of grab it and pinch it up against the tire. So,
well, the other thing I'd say too is when you're putting it in, put that nut on the stem way out at the end and push it in there when you're working around the. Make sure it's loose and it's shoved in there, so it doesn't just get pinched by the bead, even if it's
another full novice mistake I see is people that put the tire on, then the tube in, and they stuff the tube in, and it never goes on top of the rim lock. Your rim lock needs to have some spring in it. Like that tube should be like a rubber band, pushing on that rim lock. And if it's not, if that rim lock goes in and it doesn't come back out, tube's underneath it.
Oh, let me ask you something. You put the
just the tip.
What do you call that rim
Says
rubber?
Mike H. Just the tip. That's the key.
That's right. I'm surprised Victor's not here. That's his kind of comment. When do you, don't put the shaft all the way in there. Don't just bury it. Nobody likes that. That rim rubber, rim strip.
Rim strip.
You put it over or under the rim lock?
So I generally use rim tape. So
it'd be under.
So it's under at that point. And if I do have the rim rubber band rim thing, it goes over. It's designed to go over the top, but a lot of times that can also fake you about that spring tension I'm talking on the rim lock, because it's going to do the spring tension even though the tube is between the tire and the rim lock, and that's a no-no. That isn't going to work. Rim strip.
That's what it's called, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah.
Victor's here. Don't put the nut on the rim lock.
That's actually a good comment. That's a rim band. A lot of rimming tonight. So, Victor, when I put the tube in the tire and put it on the rim, the first thing I do is I actually lift the tube out of the tire, put the valve stem through the hole in the rim, and then I just start the rim lock nut. Not the rim lock nut, the valve stem nut. I just start it.
So you don't lose it.
I don't want it to go back in there. And then when I set the tire on and I get it set, I push it back down, like you said, to keep it away from getting pinched between the thing. And then I leave the nut on there the whole time, and I use it so that the nut pushes up against the cap. So it's not tying the valve stem to the rim. It allows it to float around and move inside of there.
Well, there's a nut involved for sure when you're doing them. So start or finish at the valve stem, and I have an opinion on this. Putting the tire. Let's talk about putting it on.
I will either start or finish there. Yeah. It's a circle, so you're either gonna. So I kind of start and finish there, and it kind of depends on whether I'm going to start there or the rim lock. But if you have like a Honda that always has the rim lock on the opposite side of the valve core,
right?
Then it's you make a decision. I like to start by putting the tire. Depends on the tire. Like a really heavy, hard tire, I will finish at the rim lock. But a tire that's a little more flexible, easier to get over.
Because the idea is you want to go in that rim well as much as you can on the other side.
You want it to go down in the dish.
The valve stem or the rim lock is going to sacrifice some of that ditch.
Correct.
To get it in.
Yeah.
Taking it off, you start at the rim lock or the valve stem?
Yeah, a lot of times. For the same reason.
Rich Black says, who has a valve stem? Moose. I do. I'm the last holdout. And I change tires. It seems like every time I change a tire, I do it a little different because I just don't change that many.
Yeah.
I forget in between.
So.
Oh, yeah. Keep it wet so it slides without problems. We're going to talk about that. You want to open our box and our mystery box yet? Is it too early?
I know. I think I know what it is. I'm kind of guessing. If you want to go there, I'm going to click on some advanced controls here, because I'm not hearing.
Well, this is going to be on topic.
It is on topic. It's Moose Lube.
By the way, this was.
Is it Moose
Rocky
Lube?
Mountain ordered through Dirt Bike Test.
Oh yeah, if you want to help support this show, if you're going to Rocky Mountain ATV MC, you can click through the link on Dirt Bike Test, and we get a small chunk of that. So since you're getting this show for free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it just gives us a couple nickels. Look at that, Moose Lube, Nitro Moose Lube too. Nitro Lube, cooling gel. We're not going to play with this on the show tonight, George. I know that's why you brought it in, but that's not going to.
It's Victor's.
That's not going to happen. And Victor says the sound is great, by the way. Thank you, Victor. Victor rode up to where I was hanging out this weekend on his Africa Twin that he adores, and delivered carne asada. It was a carne asada lunch stop for good old Victor.
Food truck on a motorcycle, huh?
Food, yeah.
Right? I didn't know he did the food truck thing.
Yeah.
No popsicles?
No.
Is he still doing that?
I don't think so. I don't think there's.
Oh, now you just blew up our screen.
Well,
good one.
I'm trying to make the show better, actually. So I think I'm going to try to do this and see if something goes wrong with the show. Let me know. Didn't help? Did that help us?
That got echoey.
It got
just
echoey.
Put it to the outside or something.
Oh, yeah. So maybe I should turn that off. Okay. So are we back? Can you hear? Okay. I can hear myself now. Maybe I just had my mics turned down too little.
Everybody said it sounded good.
That's why I started screwing with it, because good is not good enough.
Want to go into these questions or what?
Yeah, let's start hitting the questions. Hey, if you're sitting here watching, Les Death says, have you ordered a Production Co. 450 Rally? No, I have not. I have way too many motorcycles, and I have a Husaberg 650, so that's all that I need. If
They'd let you test one and then sell it to you dirt cheap after the test, you might end up with one. But
yeah, I don't know that I necessarily need one right now. I think when I get rid of about 7 KTM 500s, I might have a need for one. I do like the fuel capacity on that bike though, and it's going to get a lot better. I think that they're going to like learn how to get just a little bit more power out of that bike and stuff like that. So, anyways, thanks for watching us on the Grams. We're ending my show there now. Go to what do they call it? The Books of Faces.
okay, so Steve Spiteri, Bayside Boat Covers 158 at Gmail. Hi, I have a 2009 YZ250 two-stroke. Which pipe/silencer combo will give me the best over rev and top end performance? But you're distracted. Pipe and silencer combo.
YZ250. I told him
2009.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All the YZ250s are the same, and I think that it's funny. My opinion is that the best one is the FMF gnarly with the longer power. The turbine core works too, which is the spark arrestor one. But if you can get the longer muffler, and I don't even know if they sell that thing, but they have a rev pipe. They actually used to make a rev pipe, but for me the gnarly actually revved farther. So had better over rev.
Manuel just said it was. He's talking about the sound. It was better there after you did what you did, but we put it back. So I don't know if it was better for the short time or what. Skip Wareham, top contributor. What's the best way to improve stock Explore? This is right in kin with that thing
we talked about.
What's the best way to improve stock Explore 48 forks on a 23 KTM 500 EXCF? I'm coming from a 13 500 EXC with the symmetrical open chamber forks. Can the Explore 48 forks be converted to be the same as the forks that came on the 12 to 16
so
24-hour Yamaha 450
No, that's
FX? I don't know what that is.
That's the next set of topics.
Yeah. Okay.
So what he's asking is he has a brand new KTM, and he asked, can I make it like the older one? So about 4 or 5 years ago, the KTM forks they're this 48 open cartridge forks. They had adjusters on the rebound, on the now I'm forgetting which one. So they had compression on the top and rebound on the bottom, or vice versa. I forget off the top of my head which one it is. Now they have compression on one side, rebound on the other, and everybody goes, "Oh, they're shit." KTM just did it, cost cutting features, all this stuff. And I will tell you, the performance changed. They got a little bit different. They I think at the end when they had both compression and rebound on each fork leg, the last version of that, I don't remember the year, but that was about as good as it got. Just like everything, and it evolved. But I don't think that the stock for stock the next year, I don't feel it was that much worse. It was almost the same, and then it was kind of the same, and then they got better, a little better. So even the new ones that he's talking about, I have not ridden the new. He must have a 23 because the 24 comes with the closed cartridge.
23.
Yeah. So it was really good. I rode one. I'm like, this is fine. And so he posted that, and I kid you not, he got like 60 comments, and everybody told him what doohickey, what part to put in, how to do this. This guy will modify it. That guy will modify it. This guy will. Everybody would just dove in and told him 800 things.
Well, that's because the internet is the gallery of opinion.
Right. But nobody asked him. Well, one guy did put.
What do you want it to do?
One guy said, I think they're pretty good. What's wrong with them? And the one question I had that nobody asked him was, what did they do wrong? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Do you want to make them better? Okay. How about we take all the oil out of them? Because oil weighs. We take the oil out, then there's no oil, then your bike's lighter. That's better, right? Because lighter bike's always better.
Well, I think I might have not been reading all of it, but I was reading that thread too. I think he said he set the sag, but he hadn't really fooled with the clickers at all. I believe.
I didn't get that deep into it, but I believe you're right. I think maybe you told me that. But yeah, he hadn't even played with the clickers. It's like, in order to get a suspension guy to do you right, he needs a direction. And I would think, other than, oh, yeah, if I put this part in, it's better. Well, how is it going to make it better? Like if you haven't even clicked your adjuster, because the one thing that maybe were the forks that only have compression on one side and rebound on the other, they maybe didn't have quite the range of the old one. And then if you can tell me, it's like, yeah, hey, this fork, I can't really get the low speed compression adjustability like I like. It's like, well, you're not going to get it with the stock clicker, because the stock clicker is a little bit more on the mid speed side of things. And there's,
I tell you what I don't want to do is get down on my knees in the dirt and pry that rubber cap out of the bottom and make an adjustment on my forks when I can just do it riding along and turn that clicker. I wish I could adjust my shock on the fly. Just have something up there I could dial my shock in and change it around.
There's that on adventure bikes, George. Maybe just
you got that big crank on there. That's just preload, isn't it?
That's just preload. But yeah, you can reach down and turn the crank, but there's bikes that have electronic suspension adjust, which
cool.
I'm not a big fan
I'll
of.
bet you there's a guy in the room that probably doesn't just say, oh, make these forks better when he goes to the suspension guy. He probably tells them exactly where they're failing, right?
No, you just say make them better.
I see your head bobbing.
Just make them better. Yeah.
And we heard a guy over the weekend out there at the rally was talking about he had a bike way back when, and he had the exact suspension and all the exact tuning of some racer at the time that was doing well put on his bike, and he thought that was great because he had it all dialed, exactly what this other guy was having.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be like you buying a new bike and it had a whole different suspension on it. That may be better than the one that you have, and there's nothing to say that by him doing any of those mods that any of those guys mentioned, it may have made it better or it may have made it worse. But at that point, you're just spinning a roulette wheel.
Yeah,
You're not getting to the point of
that's the thing that everybody wants.
Yeah, you're not getting to the point of you just want it to be better. So, what are we looking at there?
3731.
Oh, some addresses.
Is your address 376?
Yep. No. Oh,
No.
here? No. That's the address here.
Just take this.
Yeah.
What's the
So you're
house
not
up
going
front?
out.
don't
so you're
play-
not
don't-
going
don't-
out. Don't go out on the interwebs with that.
Don't play with the lube.
What's the address of the front house?
That's it right there.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
You're
watch
putting
out.
it
Lots
out,
of-
man.
lots of-
Come
lots
on,
of-
there's
lots of-
creepers around here.
lots
We
of
have a whole
trolls.
security detail now to protect Mr. Lewis.
What's 3730?
5 days ago,
I don't know.
such a beautiful bike, trying to decide on, this is on the Yamaha 450X FX.
Right.
So at 2UZFE4
You don't have to get that
by
so
43.
something- Yep.
Such a beautiful bike, trying to decide on this or the YZ250FX, or maybe the YZ250X to go next to my old trusty carbed CRF 450X in my garage. Comments?
Why? Sounds like another guy I know likes that carb CR 450X. I don't, when you compare 250 to 450, it's such as a completely different monster. So you're kind of going like, you got three different choices there. You already have a 450. Get a two-stroke. Get the YZ250 two-stroke. That's the YZ250X. Because you already have a four-stroke, so a 450 four-stroke. Get something different. That would be my choice, because I like a lot of different bikes.
Jim and I rode our different bikes. I think we got a good combination. We both got KTM 500s, EXCs, the street legal,
Yeah.
and then we got the 300 XCWs.
That's why I
We
looked
rode
at
those today.
That's why as a proud Yamaha rider with my Tenere and my WR450, I look down on you.
Oh, that's okay. You told me to get it.
Show's brought to you by Yamaha. The KTM 500 was my
before
choice
you're
of
on
the
their
best bike ever.
payroll.
Yeah, we're shills to all of our
Good
sponsors.
thing you're not in government. You'd be crooked as hell.
I'd be good at it if I wanted to. Did you use Trail Tech Voyagers today, George?
No, but you know what? This last weekend, all I did is listen to Jim and Roger staring at those things. We're all stopped somewhere, and they're going, I can't see you. I can't see you. I can't see you. Can you see me now? I'm like, I can see everybody right here. So there was some operator error there, I'm sure.
Well, were they not wearing their glasses?
Oh, that could be, too.
And they're all super technologically advanced.
Yep.
Okay.
140 years between them. Nicholas Gibson, 3438. First time I've heard of someone switching gearing for a preferred anti-squat feel. So cool. Anti-squat.
Yeah. So they changed the sprockets to have a very similar gear ratio, but they went to bigger sprocket, so it didn't make the bike squat so much.
Bigger in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure I got that right.
I didn't hear that one. So
it's a thing.
Okay.
That's why a lot of times on supercross bikes and stuff, they'll run the biggest sprockets they can because it helps just let the suspension do what it's supposed to do.
Seems like the bigger sprocket.
I might be totally. Everything to me today is just backwards.
I know, but if
I've been working on
bigger
a computer.
sprocket moves the chain away from the axle more.
Right, so it has better.
So would that squat it more or not squat it more? But one way or the other it works, huh?
Correct. Like I said, somebody asked me some left and right questions today, and I couldn't figure it out because I was facing the wrong direction.
Because your head on the ground the other day.
Do you want to know how that happened?
No, not yet. I'm going to have our co-host can talk to you about that.
Okay.
Brandon Vaccaro, 2960. Would like to see how this compares to the wood setup, 250 or 300. Talking about the 450 FX.
Right. So it would be much heavier, much more stable. I don't know that and I think when he's talking 250, I don't know if he's talking 250 4-stroke or it's a different guy than asked the first question, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's talking like 250 4-stroke or 250 2-stroke, but anytime you start getting a lighter bike, in the woods, it sort of depends on a lot of times the rider. If you're big, heavy dude, it's not a big deal. But like a lighter guy trying to, sort of manhandle the 450 through the woods, that's why you see the KTM factory guys riding 350s, not 450s. I mean, for sure you want to have the fastest bike for a lot of that stuff, but when you start adding weight, and especially in longer races or where you need agility, that weight kind of comes into play. And I distinctly remember last time we went back east and rode the Yamahas and the 250F and the 450, the FXs. It was just like the 450 was just so much bike. You're just going, man, they need a 350. It's the super ideal size for that type of riding. So yeah, a 300, even though it has more power, it's just lighter and more agile. Yeah.
Can you roll that back? Let's see who's trying to source something there. See if we can help out.
Manual Shift, who says, I can't roll that one back. I have to roll this one back.
Okay.
He says, my BRP has a White Brothers R4 exhaust. One of the springs between the pipe and the silencer is gone. I'm having no luck sourcing a replacement. Do you know where to find a replacement? First of all, what's his BRP? What is a BRP?
I thought they made handlebar stuff, don't they?
No,
clamps and stuff.
BRP is it's like a.
But he's talking about pipe and silencer.
He's
needs a spring.
Just a spring. Do you have like a McFadendale hardware or something like that, or what was that? Oh, XR650 is what that's what he's saying. Big Red Pig. Okay. There's so Pro Circuit has a different length spring and FMF has a different length spring and Akrapovic has a different length spring. There's a lot of different springs. And I think if you just start looking at some of the other springs, you'll be able to find something. If you find something short, you can always add like a wire loop to kind of make that connection. So
There you go.
That's the answer. Don't let it overthink. And man, go on Amazon. Click through our link on Dirt Bike Test.
Nice shameless plug.
Yeah, and then just measure the length of what you need, and then measure the length between the two hooks, shorten it a little bit, and then see how much diameter room you have, and you can probably source a spring that way.
Good hardware store has something that'll work.
Granger, McFadden, stuff like that.
Row want Tree Fez 8906. Nice job, Brent and DBT. Brent,
yeah. Brent Farrell.
Okay.
He's one of our test riders. He's a tall guy.
Groshen Seller, great content. Okay, now we're going WR450 mod. Edward Brechka 5584. Awesome bike review. As always, great insight on the bike from Jimmy Lewis.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain Moto 1975. Why not just buy the FX?
That's a really good question. I think I address it in the test, and then I also address it in the when I'm modifying it. And it was like I decided to go with the WR because it comes with the right stator to run the lights, and I feel for me the suspension is a little softer, and so it just works a little bit better. It gives me a wider range of riding. And yeah, I have to go through the trouble of putting a competition ECU on it, which turns the motor into an FX, but then I can have anything I want. Even with the FX, I would still have to do the gas tank, which gas tank seat combination. I would still have to do the muffler because I want something quieter and less aggressive. So I think that just the fact that it's the radiator fan too. It comes with the radiator fan. I think does the FX have a radiator fan? Not sure off the top of my head, but the WR has the radiator fan stock, which is pretty nice.
Some good comments on there about where you can source a spring.
Yeah, Mark Daniels coming through.
Groshen, Grotrian Sealer. Great video, great content. I wish you would have commented on the tires. Are they stock?
They are stock.
There you go.
Tires are still stock. I just have not wrecked them yet. I just haven't had time to put time on all these bikes lately.
You like the tires or no?
On that bike, they're not bad. They're the Dunlop MX. They're not the AT81s. I know that. So I'm not a fan of those tires. I think they're the MX33s. And in the 18-inch size on that bike, pretty pleased. Like I say, a lot of bikes, I just can't wait to get the tires off of them, and this bike is not one of them.
Okay, at RL7880 3 days ago, with the Fasst Company bars, can you still access the fork adjusters, or do you need to loosen the bars and lift them to get to the adjusters? Probably depends on the bar combo you got on there.
Well, when I like Dave Donnelly, when I slide him 5 inches up in the clamps,
not gonna happen.
then it's not going to happen. But where mine are set, yeah, I can get like a longer flat bladed screwdriver down in there. One that if it's a little short stubby one, yeah, no, but you need one with a nice long shaft on it will go down and allow me to turn
Just
the clicker.
use the head of the shaft, or do you use the whole thing?
Just the tip.
Drive it home.
Just the tip. Yeah.
Okay. Dirt Dad 8478.
And Tony Worth says there is no fan on the FX. Thanks, Tony. I get confused. Too many bikes for me to remember everything. If you need a fan, though, you can go to Trail Tech. Trail Tech says those fans.
I got a Trail Tech on my 300, I think.
Yep, good fans.
Dirt Dad.
We have good fans, too.
Do we?
Yeah.
Like Victor?
Yep.
All these other guys? Someday I might meet some of these guys. You never know. Dirt Dad 8478. Thanks for the content. I too have a 23 WR 450F, and I am really gelling with this bike. Never thought I would ride a 450 again. Currently setting it up as a dual sport bike that can handle tough terrain. One thing I'm looking into is the front fork spring rate. Getting conflicting information. Race Tech claims stock springs are 0.51. The manual says 0.46. Do you all happen to know what springs are in the 2023?
So I don't know specifically because I have not read the manual, and I would trust the manual. But I will also tell you that in the past, Yamaha had a slightly different way of measuring springs, and I don't, off the top of my head, like everything's a little skewed today. They did kilograms per Newton meters, and other ones were kilograms per meters square. I don't remember what it was, but so maybe Race Tech and Yamaha are measuring the spring rate differently. I don't know, but I would trust the manual. And then if you Race Tech has from what I understand, a very good spring rate calculator on their website. But it wouldn't surprise me that maybe there might be an error on there, and that would be something I would definitely give them a call and just check on. So see how that works. Hey, a couple things that we didn't talk about, George. We need to talk about the news. Some news came out.
This stuff?
Some things. Yeah, I'm still testing my WR450X. I'm testing the counter shocks still, which I wanted you to throw on your bike. That's why I was off my bike. You need to throw it on your bike. You could do some testing. One of you guys needs to take that thing out and try it. Been testing the Scott pads, the ones I was wearing when I did my belly flop.
Oh, the chest protector.
The chest protector, and especially the knee pads. They're made out of that D3O. So I showed them here on the show last week, and they're soft.
And you crash tested it.
I crash tested. I don't know how much my knees hit the ground because I was wearing those pads. I couldn't tell.
Did your back hit after your head stuck to the ground?
No, my head took most of it, but I skidded on and where the pad because my belly. I think I need a slightly larger size on the chest protector, the belly pad thing, because I had a couple little marks down below where the thing ended.
So it kind of just protected the top of your belly, not the front and the bottom?
Not the bottom part that kind of stuck out over the thing. But getting a big belly now. No, I don't. It's not doing anything good right now. That's why I had a honey sandwich for dinner and I'm drinking water right now. I'm finding effective ways to cut the calories back. I ran a mile though this weekend barefoot at 6,000 feet elevation. But people do stupid things.
What about this other news?
The other news. Oh, I have a photo. So everybody's been asking about the YZ300. Where's the Yamaha YZ300 electric start fuel injected? Well, guess what? I'm throwing a photo up right now on the screen. Pictures, exclusive pictures of a YZ300 two-stroke with fuel injection, but it's not actually a Yamaha. It is a Yamaha, but it's not a Yamaha. So it's in the new Fantic, which is a company it's owned by Yamaha Europe, and it's based off a YZ250. And they've done some really interesting stuff. And if you're watching this on the screens right now, if we're just talking about it, you're looking at a YZ250 motor with a throttle body that looks very familiar, like the ones you're seeing on KTMs and stuff. It has the injector. Wait, did I look closely enough to see where the injector was? On the prototype one that I saw, the injector was actually on top of the reed block. So it looked like they were actually injecting past the reeds. And this one, it appears that are they going in the ports in this one? No. You start looking at the cylinder on this thing, and it's got all kinds of craziness, different stuff on it. Electronic power valve. It meets Euro 5 emissions. They're claiming it meets Euro 5 emissions. So it's a two-stroke that meets the emissions, and they're doing something with the power valve that acts as a decompression device and something to make it pass emissions. So I'm suspecting it's a little bit like the old Honda. They're doing the stuff that they were trying to do with the Honda ARC technology, which is keep the power valve closed longer. I don't know, but these are the pictures, and you can see on the one side of the motor, the side that used to have the arm coming out of the case where the power valve actuator was, it's gone, and on the other side there's a servo motor that has wires coming out of the side cover case now. And then where the Kickstarter used to be, coming into the back of the motor, they have an electric starter. They've set kind of, instead of being the Kickstarter shaft would go out the back side of the case, and pretty neat thing. So I don't know that you'll see it over here. Fantic doesn't seem to be too interested in importing over here, but kind of a cool thing. That dropped because the EICMA show is going on right now. And lots of stuff usually happens there, although this is kind of an off year. So that's what we're seeing there. And then Beta dropped their 450 motocross bike, so which is a really sweet looking bike for sure.
Dropped it, unveiled it.
Yeah, they dropped it.
Made it sound like they cut it out of their production or something.
Okay. Dropped it like it was hot, like information. But so that is the new Beta 450 RX. They had the RX 300, which is their two-stroke motocross bike that they released, and so now they're saying they're bringing rideability to motocross. That's what Beta says. So we'll see. Should be able to ride one of those in the near future, I would suspect. But all new motor with all new transmission ratios for motocross, trying to make it lighter, more narrow. The Betas always look good. So, and it's funny because Beta's kind of gone by the wayside in all this news about Triumph and Ducati. Beta's been around for 110, 12 years, something like this. So, yeah, they're here to stay, right? So, interesting. That's the...
A lot of comments here on the sheet about bringing back Rooster Endo. I'm not sure how you wanted to handle that other than...
We'll talk about it after. We'll talk about it after lunch.
You want me to read this?
Put an X mark next to the ones we're not talking about right now.
Want me to read this one because we're bumping up on our hour?
We are?
Got to switch over to our special guest.
The long question?
Before he falls to sleep.
No, it's not. It's part of the training.
The long question, you want to do it and then go to break?
Go ahead.
This is from Gronk VBS 2795. I've never seen this many pages of. Jimmy, you're a year older than me. Should be I. Are we going to correct this all the way through? And while I can't fault your choice, I have to point something out that may not be obvious to everyone. Before there was the XC4 motor, your beloved 500 being part of that lineage, there was the RFS. And this is where our ages come into play. I guess you just grew up in a different place and rode differently than me. When I was younger and rode forests and logging roads in northern Ontario, Canada.
Oh, Canadian, eh?
Hey. All I had were converted MX bikes as the ultimate fast bikes. Yeah, a Husqvarna won the Best Enduro Bike of the Year award every year, but I never saw one until I was in my 30s. And when I finally was old enough to get my...
So that's real old.
And when I finally was old enough to get my license, my first street bike was an 86 Yamaha XT350. Is that the twin-cylinder four-stroke? It
was a twin-carb four-stroke with 4 valves, and he'll still talk about
single
this.
Cylinder?
Single cylinder. Okay. Single cylinder. And so it was a 350 before, and there were many 350s. I mean, well, no, there's always been 350s, but...
Okay.
Yeah, so leave it to Yamaha to, pioneer some new shit.
Props to Yamaha for doing something different then.
Yep.
I guess all the manufacturers are trying things, though, because while that XT was completely a foo-foo bike, it did have some technology in it. 4-valve head with shim over the bucket, as well as...
Shim under bucket.
Said over bucket.
The shim wouldn't stay there for very long.
As well as this thing that was foreign to all the fast Japanese bikes, a wide ratio 6-speed transmission. Fast forward a bunch of years to 2000, and I'd sold off all my bikes except the 86 CR500 for, well, reasons.
Him and Victor.
Hold on. Because I was starting a family, and here comes this new to me company, KTM, with their new RFS bikes. Wait, what? It's racy. It has a 6-speed WR transmission, good suspension, and electric start. This is the bike I'd wanted more than a decade prior that the Japanese wouldn't build. It took me until 2007 to be able to afford one, squirreling away pennies while raising 3 boys, and it was a game changer. I still have my 2005 525 EXC. To this day, I also have a 2001 520 SX and an 03 525 EXC.
So he's going to tell me, I can already tell where this is going. He's going to start trying to tell me that the RFS bike is better than the what we'll call XC4, which is the 500 version. And I'll argue with him all day long.
Okay, and he hoards RFS parts. My 2005 is plated. I've raced rallies, Enduro, XC, even MX. It drones down pavement with no complaints and absolutely hauls down gravel roads. I call it my bullshit bike just because if someone says they want to go ride, but they don't know how or where we'll end up, I can't go wrong with it. Now, I also have a 250 XCFW.
This guy sounds like he has problems.
Yeah, and I think the
And the amount of
RC4
bikes.
motor is my absolute favorite of all the KTMs, and this bike rocks in the woods, but for the last 2 years, it's a 525 EXC that has answered all the calls of the corduroy Enduro.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up because it's such an easy bike to ride. Yeah, it handles like a barge compared to the modern chassis bikes, but at the end of the 150 km of vet expert terrain, the last thing I want is to have to rev a little 250 when I can just use the low-end grunt of the 525. It's like a well-suspended XR with more punch and just as reliable. The lack of quickness in handling becomes stability when you have diminished strength going through boulder-strewn trails and root-infested single track. This is a question. Two more paragraphs.
I think he's gonna tell me
or a
that
resume.
it's the best bike. Well,
Anyway,
I learned, you know, in the magazine world how to edit stuff down to get to the point. But let's go.
Anyway, I know why you picked the modern 500 bikes, but from my point of view, those would not exist had it not been for the success of the RFS motor. Yes, let's forget about that transitional mistake known as the 530 and never discuss them ever again.
So that the last two lines are 100 and million percent correct.
In your opinion.
Yes.
Because after all, that's all we give is opinions.
You're getting what you pay for.
And it's not like I'm not open to new bikes. I foolishly thought my 525 EXC was getting a little long in the tooth. And so in 21, I tried to replace it with a new Beta 500 RRS. Put over 200 hours on that bike and gave it every chance, but ultimately, I'm not a fan of the short stroke motor for general dirt biking. And when I tried to race a bike in an enduro, I was very disappointed with the suspension. Yes, 18-year-old open chamber WPs are better than what comes on a non-race edition Beta. I have ridden several race edition ones.
Gregory just put up Z's in the chat, and I can't see how this could be any worse than me talking.
Yeah, me reading, I guess. I've ridden several race edition ones, and the KYBs are so nice. All Betas should be fitted with them. Just about done. Okay, I've rambled enough. Oh, so he knows. It's
Oh,
getting long.
I wonder if his fingers start hurting.
Suffice to say that no list of the best dirt bike ever can be honest or complete without the KTM RFS bikes, but not the 250, which I've owned a pair, at least in the top 5. Personally, I put them at the top, but that's because I'm crazy Canuck who drank the Kool-Aid perhaps a bit earlier than you did. Cheers.
I have, how many RFS bikes do you think I have currently? 10, maybe, at least. So I've ridden them. I have the very first 400 that was ever over here. I have 250s. I have 250 that's been converted to a 350. I have 400s and I have 500, 520s
Sold
and
some, didn't
525s,
you?
and they're all for sale. Every last one of them. So what's his name again? KTM? No, that's a different story.
Eh?
You got to go back 2 pages.
Hoser.
eh?
I think it's Hoser. Is it just
It's
Gron
Gronk.
KVBS? We don't know what it is.
No, that's a whole. Yeah, that is Gronk, VB, whatever. So that's the thing. I don't know who it is, but you should come down here with a trailer and buy all. I have.
Yeah,
a,
you want a horde. You give
have a-
and send the parts with
I have
it,
a.
too.
Yeah, I got a bunch of parts too.
You got a Connex box of parts. You just put them all in a Connex and let them take the
Yeah, just
box
ship
and
the
everything.
box
You're
up
making
there.
another shop. Just
Yeah.
get rid of that thing.
So yeah,
I'll haul it. I'll haul it all the way to
get to
Montana. Hey, so somebody's talking about the KTM free ride.
Hey, no, we don't need to worry about that. We'll do that after lunch.
How fast?
dinner.
Yeah, we got to.
Josh K.
buy.
I have a clean RFS. I have a 525 or a 520, one of those two that's super clean. I think it's a 2003. I put a picture of it on the thing.
Go to
Gronk Vacation Bible School. What?
Okay, go to commercial and then we'll have our surprise guest on here. Thanks for putting up with me. Won't be back for a while. Bye.
Oh, be careful because George may
Do the
talk during the. I don't even know if that works. I'll try that here. No, it works over there, but I don't think it goes on the show. But I think they might get a little bit of bead. So
the defending champion, the all-new Yamaha YZ450F.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden, and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Okay, I got to work on the audio levels, I think, but that's my fault, not yours. Welcome back to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, and the tequila tonight for Mark Daniels. This is Don Cayo Extra Anejo. Hard to get in the States, but a nice one nonetheless. So if you're in the market, you can pick this up down in Cabo at my favorite little tequila shop in San Jose del Cabo. Tell them some clown on a motorcycle show sent you. They'll remember who I am, I promise. So welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Gronk VBS stands for the Valley Bomb Squad. He was listening while George read his short epic, and I have to say that Gronk, we were talking over the break. 20 grand for all my RFSs and parts?
More than that.
It's more than that. 30.
The Connex container.
Oh, with the Connex container, that's an extra $5,000, I guess. Those things are worth a lot. So, yeah, we can probably work on some pricing if you're interested in all that stuff. I mean, it's probably worth way more in Canada than it is here. I just don't like carburetors anymore. And in reality, when KTM moved over to you really got to thank Husaberg for this, and I've told this story many times. They were on the road to developing that 530 platform, which is the Husaberg motor in a different orientation, and it's just, like I said, a mistake. There was some of them that weren't that bad. I got them to work, but they were just heavier, dual engine, oil compartments, all this stuff, confusing. Good thing is they were easy to work on. You just had to work on them a lot. So Victor wants to know where George is. Where did George go? Well, we're waiting for a special guest to come back in here in a minute. But back to this, the KTM guys finally rode the Husaberg, said, "Oh, we better do something about this." Well, and then they go, "Hey, that RFS we had a few years back wasn't all that bad, and a lot of our racers really liked it. Why don't we just evolve that?" And so they took the head off of the current at the time bike, which is the same head that's on the Husaberg, the same head that's on the 500. Basically, put a new RFS motor around it, and there we go. You know, the single cam simplicity and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So George is already commenting on the things there. Can you go back on the chat and see what people say on the Facebooks, or because there's a way I learned today there's a way I can go back in on this computer and then make it show the chat to everybody else. Like it'll put the chat for all the forums into one place. And then there's this whole thing called Discord that I can do it with.
I couldn't pull that up.
So, yeah. Hey, okay, we guessed who the special guest was. We think we guessed who the special guest is. I think he just pulled up. Is he Raptoring it around or what? Raptor or Van? Van. Is Van for sale?
Yes.
Well, you know, we used to have a segment called Rooster Endo. Now we have a segment called Race Vans for Sale, right?
I need my van sold, so I bought a smaller one.
Okay, sit over here so your food gets cold.
Hold on, no.
You can eat on the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll just turn your mic down. So,
This segment brought to you by.
what's the segment brought to you by? So you're gonna have to read a couple questions too.
I can do
got
that.
some special ones for you. Welcome to the show, Ricky Brabec.
Thank you.
Is this the beginning of Dakar boot camp?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not looking forward to this
Why?
because I have to be mean to you.
No, you're never mean.
I have to be mean, and then I got to be careful I don't smoke you every time we go rally training and hurt your feelings. So, because I've been laying the heat down. I've been doing some speed. That's maybe why I fell over the other day.
Really?
Do you want to hear about my crash?
I want to hear about it because you didn't tell anyone about it.
I told everybody I have a podcast. All I do is talk about myself.
John didn't know about it. John's the one that told me you crashed.
Oh, because he talked to my wife. Okay, I'm
He
turning
talked to
the chomp microphone down. Hungry, huh? Big boys.
Starving, dude.
There's no rest for the wicked around here. Okay, so I'll tell you. So the good thing about being like such a rider who hovers in the zone of perfection, you know about this. You have these feelings every once in a while. Is that you can really feel what's going on with your bike and everything's right. And so this is why I'm at the level where when you know, like any good racer, when something goes wrong, I can blame my bike. So I was riding, of course it wasn't a Yamaha. I was on my KTM 500 because I needed a really big gas tank for what I was doing. And I was going down a sand wash, and it was like kind of the cementy sand washes, the hard ones that have every once in a while that kind of like breaking spots, and there's
Hard and slick.
hard and slick. You just, until you really bite in, you're on top of it. So I was riding down one of those, and of course, running a Moose that's way soft. It has like a whole Mexico Peninsula run in it, and then all of the Rebel Rally front Moose. Yeah. Yep. And my rear tire is not one of my tires. It was a used, kind of like one of your tires, but not one of your tires, like one of Andrew's tires, which the knobs are kind of worn out. Yeah. So, you know, traction was compromised. And so I'm coming in, and I'm in this point in this wash where I'm looking ahead, and I see, hey, Gregory, am I putting you to sleep yet? Anyways, I see two lanes. And I could keep my speed and fade into the one that was kind of in front of me, but I looked, and the other one was definitely gonna stay smoother longer. So I decided to turn there, and my soft front Moose kind of pushed, and I turned a little bit more, and then I hit a little rock, just like, you know, not too big, but it rolled, and so that pushed the front end out. And that kind of got it sliding. No big deal. I kind of got on the gas a little bit, and then my rear tire that wasn't great didn't hook up exactly like I wanted. And so then it kind of started sliding even more. It didn't bite. If I could have got it spinning, it would have bit, but I was definitely a gear high. and then, which is not my fault. I mean, that's the bike's fault because, But anyway, so I was going around the turn. It started sliding, and then I got enough on the gas to where it kind of gripped, and then it started picking up, and then it pop stalled, and it just went, and it was just high side.
And then you got traction and crashed.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it stepped. It when it pop stalled, it slid and then it bit. It hopped because I think it. I went back and it analyzed the scene, looked at the crime scene. I saw the rock that the front tire hit, and so it stalled, and that's what caused it. Had it not stalled, it would have just been I just would have kind of did a bigger slide than anticipated, and got down the right wash, or I could have stood it up and straightened it out.
Is that where you were looking for your license plate?
Yeah, I was in the zone where I was looking for my license plate. So that's what happened. But
that was the day of the crash?
that was it. It was just a
or you crashed and lost your license plate and
No, I lost my license plate the last time I was riding over there. So I went back looking for it, like a homing pigeon. But I was having so much fun in these other washes that I didn't get, because where I lost my license plate was kind of crappy. It was really kind of choppy and bumpy, and I just stayed in these other washes that was more fun. And happens. But so how when you're doing this crash and you're flying through the air, I'm thinking, thank God I turned my tracker on. Don't know where to find the body. So, where can I get a dozen of those awesome T-shirts? The Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirts are coming. We're going to actually have a QR code for them. That's what we decided. We're going to make it easy. Brabec has low volume because he's eating dinner right now. Give him a minute. You're going to keep him up late working on road books tonight, and then up early and riding road books. It's like, you got to eat when you're going to eat.
And sleeping in the van.
And sleep.
Sale.
Did I tell you I used to have to sleep in tents when I raced, Ricky, on the ground? Yeah, I was like Moto, except I was a factory rider. It was harder back then.
Much easier racing.
Hey, so here's the thing. If you have some questions for Ricky Brabec, throw them up in the chat, and I will make Ricky answer them. This is his penance for coming out and doing all this training with us.
Let me eat my burger patties first.
Yeah, he's going to eat the burger patties, but we'll get the questions all lined up. I'll be able to go back. And Gregory said, it wasn't me, it was that long autobiography. Well, what the hell was that crash story that I just did? But yeah, thanks for keeping us in line there. And that was cool that VBRO, what was his name? Showed up on the thing. Gronk Valley Bomb Squad. So that was good that he showed up to have his question checked out. But I have to agree with him on his point. The RFS was a great bike for its time, but it just has a carburetor right now. And when the bikes sit around, actually, the handling on that bike was never great. It was adequate. There was definitely some, but bringing that Yamaha TT, the TT350. My dad had one of those. That was a good bike. I like that. And then I had an XT600, which was nothing like that. It was way more horrible. So, George, does the van sell above value because it's got your DNA all over it?
It's not above value.
It's not above value.
No.
You still rent them? Or you give
No.
No more rental business.
No.
Just selling the assets. So you're gonna be just Raptor guy.
No.
New van,
Yeah.
4-wheel drive,
No, I just want to get a smaller one.
smaller.
Yeah.
You seen Andrew's van?
Yeah, his is so sick.
Yeah. See, Andrew did a little race.
Yeah, torque.
That looks so much fun.
Right?
Yeah, loamy dirt.
It'd be sweet to go to Andrews for like a week
Let's go back there and just moto at his house,
and then race.
and then go to one of those kind of goofy races. Yeah, well, this is on the. Isn't there an Eclipse by his house that my wife wants to go see, George? Yep. There's something like this. So my wife said we're going, and I don't know how that works, but we'll probably have to go.
Let's go.
We're getting some we're getting some questions. I think I can answer some of them. Thanks a lot. So you just got back from Morocco.
Yeah.
Not good time. You can shake your head. I'll answer for you. Not great times.
No, it was a good time. I mean, it was a good vacation.
Good vacation. In Morocco?
Yeah, for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Bike testing.
Yeah.
Road books.
A little bit of road books, a little bit of bike testing.
Lots of photo shoots.
The photo shoots were actually, I think, like 2 days only, so it was fairly quick.
Yeah. Not too bad. Do you have to sit down and do media like this?
No.
I'm going to ask the hard-hitting questions. I don't know what they are, but I'll figure them out. You got some coming up.
You see how Jimmy times this? Right when my dinner shows up, hey, you're going on the show.
Well, you were trying to fall asleep over there, and then I had no idea you ordered. I could have made you a honey sandwich. Would have worked out. Let's see. Dave Donnelly says he lost a plate once. Now I paint the backside bright yellow, and I put my phone number on it.
Oh, so if someone else, well, Jimmy knows exactly where he rides, so he can go back and find it.
I usually can go back and
Remember
find
when
it.
you found my watch?
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. And that was after like a 200 mile day.
Yeah.
And I still remember where it was because you described where it was, and I'm like, I know where that is. But the plate, I know where the plate is. It's in a zone.
But you didn't find it.
No, but it's because I was having too much fun riding down these sand washes, and then I did a belly flop, and then I wanted to meet Jim and George like out across the valley. So I had a lot of things going on. The plate took second or third thing. I Do Stuff says a 2024 Yamaha WR450F will be sold in California. No, it will not. That's a yep. I asked about that. So the WRs will not be sold in California because that state has really wonky rules about what makes a dirt bike and what you can get a sticker for and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I actually know some people that bought motocross bikes and stuff in California because they didn't have to get stickers and all that stuff. Any chance that you might have a Cove 450 rally in your stable in 2024? I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to test one of the race bikes when they get those over here, but they're all sold out. They're selling them.
They're cheap.
They're inexpensive, and people are buying them. And yeah. And Victor wants to know, Jimmy, do you love riding sand washes so much? Why do I love riding sand washes so much? I don't know. It's just fun. It's like a perfectly smooth sand track. You know, when they're not all beat up. So, and you just you can follow them. They're neat places to go in the sand washes. So good times. Hey, if you want to support the show, you can click through our links at Rocky Mountain MCATV. There's things in the when you on the video you're watching right now, there's probably something there. Go to dirtbiketest.com. You can see it there. We have videos up about all of the off-road 450s that Trevor just got done doing a big modification story on. A lot of individual riders give their comments. Leave mean-spirited messages in the chats, and I will make those guys answer them. So if you're from Australia and you want to just throw some heaters up there, go ahead and do that, because you know that we will not swim all the way down there to fight you. Unless we're
I'm going
cholos.
to Australia next year.
You're going to Australia?
Yeah.
What for, Fink?
No,
World Rally?
a rip to Australia with Cameron.
Oh, huh. Interesting. You guys will be riding upside down.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah. Ron Wielder says, you tried an enduro plate? Ron, is that the one that has the magnets on it and it flops around? That one? Let me know, because I'll tell you if I've tried it. Because that's what was on my bike that the plate flopped off of. Yeah. It was on the bike. It was the bad year, like a 2019-ish year. It's the one that has the really floppy KTM rear end. Yes, that's what was on there. And that whole rear assembly, I can't believe it's still on the motorcycle. Like, it's still attached, the whole thing. But I had one of those plates on there, and that license plate flopped around so much. it actually tore through the material, like that rubber flappy material. It just wore. It never got loose, I don't think, but it wore through there and just ejected. So, yeah, that might have been part of the problem. So, yeah. But Dave's got a good idea. What would that be a good thing to put your name and phone or your phone number on your license plate?
Not if you're riding illegal trails.
I don't ride illegal trails.
But the cops can find it anyway if it's played.
That somebody can at least turn it in.
That's probably
I mean, easier than having to go through the DMV and stuff, which I have to go now to get another plate.
Why do you need a plate?
Why do I need a new plate?
Uh-huh.
So I can ride my motorcycle on the street because it's a dual sport bike.
You can't do that anyways?
Well, if I go into California,
Oh.
yeah, I'd like to have a license plate. And then if I sell it, somebody's going to want a license plate on it. I don't know why I would ever sell a motorcycle. Josh K says, put Ricky on a 950 for Dakar training. No, he's a girl when it comes to riding bikes. He's not tough enough to ride a twin cylinder bike. I put him on a BMW. I got a nice BMW I'll put you on if you want to really manhandle a motorcycle. So, okay, you done eating?
Almost.
Almost?
Well, yeah, but I'm just snacking now.
Okay, done snacking. You can finish your meal. We'll make this quick. We only got a few questions. We're gonna run through the questions. Probably cut the show short tonight because somebody around here's got to do a lot of work. Okay. The questions are: what's your top speed in the Dakar?
100 miles an hour.
It's limited now.
Yeah.
It's limited. That's bad. How fast can the trash trucks go?
I think they can go 100 too.
They're limited?
Well, I mean, 100 is pretty fast in a freaking trash truck.
I know, but they go that fast.
Yeah.
But do they have a speed limit, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Do cars have a speed limit?
Mm-hmm.
What's theirs?
I think 160.
So 100 miles an hour also.
Yeah.
So same as the bikes. The next question was Jesse G wants to know, what was it again that you did the Dakar with the waypoints that screwed people up last year?
There was the WPCs and off piste.
So, and have you been training to handle those types of issues?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. We decided the training technique for that was to go sit on a hill and see where everybody goes. Because at that point, what else can you do? When it's super screwed up, when there's something that's completely, like, because you can't protest the map book.
No.
And if somebody figures it out or finds it out, and if you're the guy out, like, riding all over the place, not finding it out, and somebody finds it out, you don't get to see him find it out.
Exactly.
Are they doing that thing where they...
Ricky, when racing the Dakar and you need a deuce, do you stop or do you hold it to save time? These are the hard-hitting questions that Victor wants to know.
No, you take a deuce before the stage starts.
Yeah. You know, when I raced, Ricky, the stages, they were
Long and boring.
quite a bit longer. Well, we didn't race at the same level.
You're at the back.
But I will tell you, my very first stage that I ever won, I stopped and took a deuce on the stage.
Must have been a shitty stage.
It wasn't a shitty stage. It was a stage that separated the men from the boys. That's what they said about it. It was the one that was going to separate the men from the boys, and I beat all the boys. Can Ricky beat my crash story? Says San Felipe Bob. Can you explain away a crash, all the equipment, like I just did?
I never blame my crashes on the equipment.
Really? Never?
I don't think so.
Worn out tires sometimes? Soft mooses?
I couldn't say I crashed because of it.
Okay. Suspension didn't do what you wanted it to do?
I mean, yeah, that could be. Everyone can blame their crash on their suspension, but then again, if your suspension is that way, then you should know how to ride your bike the way it is. You should know how to ride the bike or figure out how to ride the bike the way it is until you can change it
within its limits.
Yeah.
Like whether it's too stiff so it's not getting good traction or bottoms out too much, no safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't go back and just say make it better.
No. I tell them exactly where I think the issue is.
Yep. Let's see. George says, does the van sell above value because it's got your DNA all over it?
You read that already.
I know I read that, but what do you want to talk about the van a little bit? Because like people here want to know about vans. We're like an overland. I did a podcast today with ex Overland.
Really?
Yeah, so I was on an Overland podcast. We talked about Dakar a lot. Talked a little bit about training you. I took most of the credit like I usually do, but that's the way. You weren't here. You don't want to give away the details. Go to Ricky's Facebook page. It's for sale there.
Well, you see, I didn't put all the details on Facebook, and I just said like, "Hey, serious buyers, let me know if you're interested, and then I'll give you the whole shindig about it."
George wants it, right?
No.
No.
It's just a van. It's made to haul 2 dirt bikes. You could sleep in it. It's got a kitchen, a little kitchen,
I might be interested.
outside shower, 25-gallon water tank.
I'm kind of like a Lance guy now. I like my Lance.
I know. I like that style too. I thought about getting like one of those GFC overland style rooftop tents because I think that's really cool. And then I just also bought a trailer, like a little box trailer. But yeah, I don't know. The van's cool. I just want a shorter one, something a little bit easier. I mean, I'm driving it so much just because my truck's in California right now, and it's hard to get 2 vehicles back with one person. But yeah, no, the van's cool. I'm just, I want to go kind of old school. I'm looking for like an Econoline.
Oh, really? Something a little more simple.
That was my first van I've ever had, and that was like the most fun in a van that I've had. Just they're simple to drive, and they're small, and they do the job. I'm not trying to live in my van. I'm just trying to haul a bike back and forth.
You don't want to do van life?
I mean, van life's cool, but I just
You just want to pull up and open the door and go, "Hey kids, you want some candy?"
Yeah.
And that's the one where the one where the steering wheel's like straight above, right? What were those vans?
That's a school bus.
A school bus. Yeah. So I thought there was a couple more questions in here, but I don't see them. So if you have any other ones, I know what you got to do. Your favorite section, Rooster Endo.
Yeah, that's the best section of the show.
I finally people started sending me Rooster Endos, and I started organizing them. But like I said on a few shows ago, we are going to bring it back in a big way. We're going to do a special all Rooster Endo show. And
Dude, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when it is and where it's at and how we're going to do it. It's going to be an awesome deal. So with that, go ahead and what is Robert Gobbler?
Robert Lambert.
Yeah, that guy 7096. What does he say?
He said the show's turning into garbage without Rooster Endo, and I agree.
Oh, so I went to his page.
I think it's cool that people show their bikes off and then we talk about them.
I know, but this what happens. I lost the guy who was like organizing all that stuff, and so that was the excuse on one show. And then the second show was that I didn't get any Rooster Endos because they weren't sending them to me; they were sending them to him. So that was the second show. Then, now we're like 8 shows in, and I've run out of excuses, so I'm just taking the heat.
If people go on your show and they know how to submit the Rooster Endo, then that's cool. But on your Dirt Bike Test homepage, you should just make like the banner drop, like Rooster Endo, just clickable right there, right when you log on to dirtbiketest.com.
I'll get right on it tomorrow, right after I get your road book built. I'll get that hooked up.
Well, you have like 7 days.
So you need to go to at Robert Lambert 7906 and follow him on YouTube's, because he only has 2 followers and he needs more. So I think everybody from Tech Talk should go over to at Robert Lambert, like it's spelled, 7906, and just follow him. I want to have a couple people. I want him to get a little more popular, so because he didn't wait but a few more minutes, and then he said, what did he say?
So why is there no Rooster Endo? This show sucks without it. Not gonna lie.
So you go over and follow him.
The same day.
So when he can't get something done for you instantly, you should just follow him. I think he needs a few more followers, so he's held responsible to that level of those levels of demands. So, what is the Husky Hauler
5491?
Yeah, that guy.
He wants to do a Rooster Endo shootout of all the past winners for the big prize. Now that they all know the rules. But what are the rules for Rooster Endo? I don't even know the rules. Just show your bike.
You made it Rooster Endo for sale. You're responsible for that.
Roost Endo or for sale.
Because every time you came on,
Roost?
you had some new thing you're selling, and it's kind of funny because now we're trying to pimp a van here on the show.
I feel like half the guys on the show would honestly enjoy a camper van that can haul 3 motorcycles.
I know.
I just don't use a van to the full potential that I built it for, so there's no reason for me to have it.
That's you're giving. That's great. So Rooster Endo with all the past winners. So obviously he's a past winner, and he's just trying to narrow his competition.
Yeah, he wants the big prize.
I can't remember left from right and a person's face or their name an hour after they walk away. So how do you think I'm going to remember your bike if it won or not, and you resubmit and it wins because it's so awesome? And what rules? That's a good question. Like, should we dish out the rules for Rooster Endo? Because I have a feeling that the people that just already submitted, and I had some good friends submit, like Jason Abbott submitted a couple things, and they might not know that I have some particulars. Like I want the photo to inspire me to go ride with a really awesome bike on it. I don't want it shot in your garage with your rake and your hammer laying on the ground, the hammer you used to, bend the handlebars back.
Throw that axle through there.
Yeah, to knock the axle through the shaft. Yeah, that thing. So, we say rules. We don't need no rules where we're going. It's really the bike that brings us the most enjoyment is what the whole Rooster Endo thing is about. It's funny because we get in there, we can talk about different things that you've done to your bike, maybe give you some advice, maybe insult you horribly, or just say it's an awesome job. We've had parents force their children to submit Rooster Endos so they could take the money and use it for their own bike. We have had lots of really bad pictures sent in that upset me, where I can't believe that they couldn't take the time to position the bike a little bit better in the light, but go ahead. We had professional photographers send in photos of bikes that shouldn't have been in the thing. So,
I mean, the whole thing with Rooster Endo is that it gives us something else to look at, and it gives us something to either talk crap about and help someone out, or give some stoke to some guy that's doing everything right.
Yeah,
and I think they appreciate it.
And it's funny because I like the way you said that. Talk crap about and help them out. Because that's the way, that's kind of the way that things work around here. You don't really get a whole lot of hall passes when you have something that's kind of janky. We tend to run a little rough around the edges, but yeah, so we're going to bring it back. So go ahead, and if you want to start submitting some, I will definitely put a call out as to when we are going to do that show. Maybe in the short term, we'll start.
Next week.
I held a couple back, so now we have a little bit of a surplus because it's brought to you by Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. Taco Mike he basically was on board. He's like, yeah, do whatever you want. And I even had a bad idea about how to do it, and he said, okay, we won't do that. But we have some pretty good ideas. Robert Lambert right there. He says, love this guy. It's been 8 episodes. He's watching. I think I texted or on one of those messages hey, Robert, you're getting a lot of followers tonight. Everybody's going to his Robert Lambert
7906.
7906. We're going to start following you because we want to see your video. Maybe you should do a video. I thought for sure he had submitted one, and I just didn't see it or something, which maybe he did, but it's not in my files. It may be in that other guy that other guy that dressed really nice that disappeared. It might be in his files. So Mike Pearson. So if I resubmit mine for the 3rd time, I still have a chance. Absolutely. The Rooster Endo Mega Special is going to be epic. It'll be good times.
It should be like mid-December.
So it's a big Christmas present when they get
for
it.
the final.
Okay.
For the final.
Okay.
For the shootout. For the big prize. And I think what you should do also is, what would also be like super cool, is get Rooster Endo shirts made, and the winner.
We have a logo. You know this?
Yeah, exactly. And the winner would just get a shirt of like, well, not the winner of like the shootout, but like the winner of each week.
We get a Rooster Endo shirt.
Say you do Rooster Endo like once a month, then you just you're making 12 shirts. Mm-hmm. Then they got like a Rooster Endo winner shirt. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think they need to be watching live and win, and they need to pick door 1, 2, or 3.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. We'd say, so when they win, like The Price is Right, you have to pick door 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, one of those doors could have a T-shirt, one could have the check, and the other one could have the Yeah, that might be good. That's a great idea. That's why I say, yeah. So, hey, it's coming back. Don't worry. Gronk, sorry I've put everyone asleep. I have to look over here where it says what he said because it just scrolled off my screen. Sorry I've put everyone asleep with my 3-page rant. Gronk equals not very smart, but I lift heavy things. I never know when to stop typing. No, it was good. I know the pain of typing too much. That was all those. That's all that stuff there.
Dude, you should.
That was an epic.
He could be a test writer. Obviously, he can write.
Yeah.
Dude, look at that.
Yeah, he has a hard time, focusing it. He kind of goes all over the place. There's a lot of stories in there, but I picked up on there's some important things like the TT350. I forgot about that bike. I rode the wheels off of one of those. I kind of migrated off of an XR. So when I went and raced 6 days in 1989, I was on an XR 250, and some of the guys I were racing against had these factory Yamaha from Yamaha France TTR 350s, and I'm like, they were badass. And I'm like, my dad had one, so I started riding his bike, thinking because it was came faster. But yeah, good, brought up some good memories. And Greg's talking to you. He says, sign those shirts. You already did.
I see a signed one right there.
So hold up the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday shirt. It's right behind you here. Hold that one up. We're gonna
wipe my fingers off.
Oh yeah, no yeah. Got the
Bar back.
yeah. So we have them in gray though because the colors stand out a little bit better. But those are the ones we're gonna make. If I wasn't out riding around the desert just making you chase my tail all next week, like doing road books. And because I don't want to get a factory contract or anything, I'm just out here just doing my job. I would probably make the shipping form and all that stuff with the what do you call it? The QR code. Yeah, the QR code. So you can just point your phone at it and take a picture, and it'll order you a shirt. But we're doing that. Gronk says, "Send me bikes to test. I'm your Canadian content." Do you know Radek? Gronk, do you know Radek Burkhart? He's another guy. He's big and strong.
No, Gronk has to come out here to do the testing. A lot different than Canada.
Yeah, but Canada's got good trails. There's some good. Even when he was talking about riding the corduroy and some of those races up there, they're really, really good. I know because I raced against a lot of guys that used to go up there and race. So yeah, Radek is big. Period. Yeah, Radek's this guy. He's like always riding his 890 and smashing it on trails like the 5 Miles of Hell and stuff. He wants me to go riding twin cylinder bikes with him, and I just refuse because I'm not that much of a man. So, anyways, okay, I think we're wrapping things up. Thanks everybody for joining in. It was a good show. A lot of people joined in. I think we got our sound sort of figured out, but I need to work on some of this stuff a little bit more.
What's that big gold medal behind Ricky there?
Oh, Jesus. I had to bring that up on the damn Overland show because they asked me about ISDE.
This gold medal right here?
Yeah. No, that's the Husaberg side cover, bro.
Yeah. Still apart.
Yeah, look at that. It's the Hus. You can point at it again. The Husaberg side panel.
He had some Dakar questions you wouldn't answer.
This medal right here. He's worried about that one there. He says it's special. Oh, there's some Dakar questions I didn't answer.
Yeah, I want to explain that opening rule where they take away time.
Oh boy, yeah, explain that.
The bonus time is, it's definitely tricky. If you don't land on the bonus time, then you get kind of screwed, honestly, and you don't really stand a chance. But so first place on certain days, the guy that starts first will get 1.5 seconds a kilometer, and then the guy that starts second will get 1 second a kilometer. Then the guy that starts third will get half a second a kilometer. So lately, like, the road books have been like pretty simple, and the guy opening doesn't even get caught by the second guy, and the guy opening is opening so fast that he would lose the stage with he'd lose the stage by like 2 minutes, but then his bonus time he would get like almost 7 minutes back. So then he would go the next day. He'd win that stage and then go the next day and have opening bonus again. So it's a little bit tricky.
I think they should. I agree with the opening bonus. I think that's
too much.
It sounds like too much and not on the right days. But I think that you can get the opening bonus, but whatever time it is that you finish, you start there. The opening bonus doesn't.
It should apply to overall time.
It applies to your overall time, but not to your start position. So
your stage time.
Your stage time. If you finish, fourth on time in the stage without opening bonus, you start fourth the next day, and you don't get to take off first again and get opening bonus. The guy who actually rode the stage fastest gets to start, but not every day has opening bonuses. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think it's still something in works, and hopefully they figure this stuff out. But nobody asked me my opinion. That's why I have a podcast.
Well, we're all saying the same thing, Jimmy.
I would think smart people would, but don't include me in that one. Are you using digital or paper roadbook again this year?
Paper.
Yeah. Still paper.
OG.
Valiant Thor says, at work, random channel surfing, having a wonderful muckbag lunch and saving the world.
Mukbang.
Is that a he's channel surfing, and what's a mukbang lunch?
Probably Canadian, Australian.
Probably like a badass lunch.
Yeah.
Or a shit ass lunch.
Mukbang. I got to add that to my vocabulary.
It's like what your poor stuff came in.
My
A
poor.
mukbang sack.
So, okay, well, last call. You have 10 seconds to get your questions into us. I think we answered most of them. I know the beginning of the show, a lot of times I miss stuff out, so I'm looking. Road Racer 3, no update on the Tenere build. Let's see. And then I think that's all good other than that. I'm currently eating a succulent roasted quail with a sweet and tangy fig and balsamic glaze. On the side, I have tender, buttery scallops seared to a golden brown in a creamy cauliflower puree. So I think he's thinking we're a cooking show. Well, I'm having some fine tequila here. Valiant Thor.
Whoa! We got a good one right there. What email address do we use now?
Oh, this is the secret about this for the
Just type it in there, dude.
For the show, you would use my name at Dirt Bike Test. So if you can't
Jimmy Lewis at Dirt Bike Test.
No, just my first name.
Jimmy?
Just Jimmy, yeah. Just figure out that, and even though I just gave it away.
What if you just type it right there where it says type message,
How do
dude?
you spell Jimmy?
Hey, Valiant Thor is watching from the Los Alamos National Laboratory Isotope Production Facility, and he thanks us for his hospitality. And Valiant Thor liked and subscribed to us. Hey, that's something else. We're at like 19,070 some odd things. So if everybody goes and subscribes to our YouTube channel, that would help us out a whole bunch. Right after you subscribe to Robert Lambert 7906, because we like to follow everybody here. No, that's not my thing. Craig, I don't know where that's going to go. So for a formal email, I don't really want any formal emails.
Tell him how to spell Jimmy.
How to spell Jimmy?
1M or 2M?
There's two of
Is it
those.
I or Y?
And there's a Y at the end. Yeah. So,
JIMMY.
I'm going to have to go subscribe to Valiant Thor. Yeah. He's watching. He's in there building nuclear bombs and shit like that at the isotope production facility. That's what they do. They allow this to be broadcast there. That's bad for our national security. For instance, he should have seen last week's show. But
So did you look at Robert Lambert's stats there on his followers?
he had 2.
He has 2 followers.
2.
He has 9 videos.
Uh-huh.
One of them has 155 views. That's his high one.
Yeah, he's doing good. I expect his followers to demand more, like Rooster Endo, which is like say, Robert, we're working for you here. We'll get back on the program. So, hey everybody, again, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. Ricky Brabec,
That's me.
yeah, Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, Bulletproof Designs. I'm getting my bulletproof designs for my WR, my protection stuff, not including a front disc rotor, and double take mirrors. And if you sometimes send me you know what else we're doing on this show? I don't know if I failed to mention this because we need to make the show better. Is, your mom's probably bummed that you're sponsoring me now.
Probably. I don't even know what that emoji is.
It's just it looks like her. She's going like this. She's probably worried about your outfit. You're supposed to be dressed like a team guy with a team shirt and the sponsor. Oh, you got a sponsor hat on. There we go. Doing the work. Yeah, what's your sponsors, Ricky? List your sponsors off. Then you can claim this as a work engagement.
HRC, Monster Energy.
Okay. Alpine Stars?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. What goggles you wearing now? 100%?
Yeah, I don't talk about those though.
Okay. I wear Scott's. Hey,
Yeah.
your teammate wears good goggles. I know this. Your new teammate?
Well, maybe that's why you fell over the other day, dude. They're friggin' blurry vision.
They're not blurry. It's got the amplified lens. That's why I saw the little rocks that I hit.
Well,
So, anyways, yeah. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks, Ricky, for coming out and eating dinner on the show. Remember Jerry?
that's a first, dude. No one's ever done that.
Jerry Bernardo. I've tried to do it before. Jerry Bernardo's books, Coffee Brewed with a Graveyard Mist. If you want to have some bad dreams, read Monkey Butt so that you're ready for when my Monkey Butt 2 comes out. You can do that.
Hey, is that book all about monkey butt, dude? That's a big old book for monkey butt.
It's a lot of tall tales and history of the motorcycle journalism. It's actually pretty funny. You learn a lot about my good buddy Crazy Nate in there. We got to get Crazy Nate back on the show. Man, he would have been funny. I saw him Saturday. Oh, he would have been great to have on the show then.
Hey, the Euros love it when you say you have monkey butt. They're like, what is this?
What is this? That's why you tell the Australians you're riding with a fanny pack. And on that note, we're going to say, everybody, we will see you out in the trail. So cheers.
If you liked what you saw in this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully, we'll see you out in the trail.